comes up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
Oh my god, he just ran in.
What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Between Two Props. Tonight we're going to be wrapping radios. We're going to be discussing radios. We're going to talk about the jumper, a little bit about the Tango 2, try to cover some tips and tricks regarding OpenTX, and I use Nirvana, so I'll talk a little bit about that. And just general mayhem and stuff, and you never know who might jump in. I'm really excited tonight to have the guests I have. A couple of goons joined us tonight, and they're going to share their experiences and some of their stories flying with you. Before we begin, I'm going to start off with the shout-outs. Love to shout out BQE multi-rotors each and every time. Fat Straps, Say Andrea, Motherfucking Bot Grinder and Wombat FPV, Ready Made RC, the UFDA crew, Project Zen, Rape My Rip and Joe Stan, Hot Dog FPV, FPV Builders, Quad Chat with Jake and Kat, Quad Mods, Emu Flight, Kiss, Wolf and Impulse RC, Old Gravy Leg, West Side, Advanced Power Drives, and all my goons, Goonies worldwide, and of course our families and our supporters. Without y'all, we couldn't do this. Thank you very much. Mad love. Quick note before I start off, I just want to give a special shout out to El Bujo FPV from Project Zen for obtaining a couple new sponsorships with TBS and Flight One. Congrats, brother. I'm extremely proud of you, and I'm excited to see what we do this year, and it's going to be a fucking great year, so let's go. Having said that, I'm going to take us over to the Goons and introduce our guest. Oh, yep, there we go. And hey, guys, what's up? What's going down? Joining me tonight.
What's up?
What's up?
I have, of course, the one like Vicious Vice. I've got Jack Bear FPV and Red 5 FPV, my Goonie brothers from around the way. Join us tonight to share our experiences. What's good, guys? How we doing?
Oh man, just chilling like a villain.
Right on. Red, what's up? Oh, he's muted. Is he muted?
Yeah.
Muted.
There's always one. What's good?
I was
brother?
busy. I was playing Witcher 3 before this. You interrupted me.
Yeah, I know. Video games. I've been playing Ghost Recon Breakpoint a little bit. I know Willie and Vaughn have too. And apparently they've got a Terminator special event thing going on where you're on the island and like the Terminator starts coming after you and shit. And you've got to like rescue this chick.
Oh wow.
And all this shit. And then there's like all these missions to go fucking fight the Terminators. And yeah, so I've been playing that. Bit of Rainbow Six Siege, which is one of my go-to shooters. I know Vice is a gamer and he's cracked out on Assassin's Creed.
Dude, I've been playing. I'm like up to like 70 hours into Assassin's Creed, but I played the shit out of The Witcher 3. I have like 200 hours in The Witcher 3. That game is
Yeah, it's
something
good.
you lose a lot
Going-
of weekends in.
Going
Yeah.
through it again, doing like every quest.
Yeah, it's such a.
You game at all, Wendell?
I do on the side sometimes. Like Wolfenstein I've been big into on the wife's Xbox. Do that. Play Doom, the Star Wars. I love those. Of course, Call of Duty. Play that. And actually, it didn't take me too long to figure it out. Still, like learning the controls kind of thing because I find I try to fly the person around.
Right.
Yeah, like the first time I played was a Call of Duty World War II. Ran up, found a flamethrower, all happy with myself, and I got stuck in the corner, just kind of spinning around. And I turned around, there's a bunch of guys standing there, so I torched them all. Of course, it's my own damn squad. So yeah, it was a learning experience for sure. It's fun as shit, no doubt.
No doubt, no doubt. Word. So what's good? What's new in FPV, guys? Anything exciting you want to start off with?
Well, TBS came out with a new product.
TBS.
Right?
Yeah.
Should we start with TBS products? What was that cool camera we just saw?
Oh yeah, the let's see, the ethics camera.
Yeah, what's up with that
Brand new
ethics camera?
product?
It's got like an interference fit.
It's a what?
Find that interesting.
On
It's
the
got like
back, it's got like a silicone thing.
Oh,
Yeah, it wraps around the sides so it can stay still.
It looks.
I don't know why no one's come out with that yet,
It's-
because I've been kind of doing that. Well, before I switched to Armatan, I was kind of doing that with like double-sided sticky tape wrapping around the camera so it would squish and not move.
I wonder if it's like Umagrip, but just like cut, die cut for the camera.
Probably just some rubberized stuff.
Oh, Vice has got it up on the screen. So what's the retail? We got $35,
$34.95.
and that's
That primo
pretty much
price.
the price.
that's
of,
yeah, right.
yeah.
Well, it's got a big lens
Full
in it, right? It's got a GoPro lens in it.
Yeah, 2.5 millimeters.
It's a 2.5.
2.5 or bust.
What's the
Yeah.
FOV? They give you one?
That information they don't put. No, they don't. I mean, that's a pretty big lens, so it's probably on the smaller size, right? Isn't it the bigger the lens?
Yeah, it'd be
smaller the FOV,
narrower.
Or is it the opposite?
It'd be narrower, but it's like
I'm used to.
it's a deeper image, I
Cleaner
feel
image.
like.
Do you guys fly CCDs? Because I've always flown CMOS cameras. I've never
Yeah,
messed with
I roll
CCD.
CCD. I actually have 2.5 mil in my RunCam Swift 2. Because before Steel came out with his thing, they only came in like 2.3 mil or something like that.
Go back one pick, Vice, please. I want to see that stuff. Let me bring you up full screen. I want to see this.
This is the silicone grip.
Oh wow,
Red 5 was
that's
talking
pretty
about.
cool.
So I printed.
So
I don't know if
it makes it a little bit thicker.
right. I made a 3D print. I think it's up on my Thingiverse. Yeah, for micro to mini adapter. Actually, it's like kind of like that, but it goes around the outside. It's just TPU, but it fits and it's not a big pain in the ass like just trying to use washers or whatever. So that's cool. I like this though. This is really dope. It doesn't really, I don't know. It doesn't look like Umagrip quote unquote, but if it's not stamped with a pattern, it could be.
It might just be standard
Also have the
silicone.
metal,
I mean, its real purpose is just to squish so it doesn't move around.
Yo, Goon Squad in the chat. What's up, Vaughn? What's up, Cement, Verb, Redbeard, Cement Kid,
I got the crew.
Dark
tonight.
Motherfucking Matter. What's up, my brother? How you doing tonight, man? What else we got up in there?
Also, one of the advertisements was that the focus ring is made of metal. I believe that was one of the.
That's
Yeah.
made out of metal.
Yeah, I've stripped all kinds of those. I mean,
Yeah.
I usually
Damn.
break them.
see, I've always wanted to glue mine
My
in, but I
cameras
was
don't
scared
last
just
that
in
long.
case I needed to change it. It just kind of stuck. So
Right?
So yeah, that's the only new product I know about.
So you said
On
that's
the
a
CBS
600,
website.
right? It's a 600.
600 TV lines. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. I mean, most new cameras now are 1200 or 1000.
Yeah, I've been running. I usually try to run around there, typically.
Illegit doesn't matter too much, personally.
I mean, as long as it's not mad latent, right? What do you fly? Like, what's your go-to camera right now, Red? You fly pretty fast, so
Swift 2s.
Swifts.
I like that global shutter instead of the rolling shutter. Makes a huge difference, I feel like.
Yeah. And have you flown many Eagles, like the Eagle Pro Micro or any of that?
That's what I started out on.
Yeah.
And I felt like the better I got at flying, the more crashing I was doing. Then I switched to CCD and shit like that stopped for some reason. I kind of attribute it to camera lag,
Yeah.
but I could be just wrong.
Glass to glass could definitely fuck you up. There's no doubt about that. I haven't had too many issues on my RunCam Eagle micros. I haven't felt like it felt latent to me, but I'm also rocking a Rattel on that Bando 10-inch, and I like that as well. And forgive me, because I honestly space looking at the specs half the time. I just try cameras and see what, how they feel.
yeah, the last.
I mean, I will
ones fly
say-
now.
I will say I run the Eagle on the 10-inch, but when you're flying 10-inch stuff, you're kind of like just of its size and whatnot. There is kind of like inherent lag just physically, so I don't get affected too much by that.
It's got a feel to it. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's something you gotta compensate for, I feel like.
What were you gonna say, Wendell?
Oh yeah, I fly the Falcors in mine.
No.
I tried the Runcam Micro Eagle when I first bit my 3-inch. Loved it. Loved the fact that I could fly it. Now we got street lights everywhere, and you just cut the ranges down. And I could see plain as day at night. But just the color range and spectrums I get with Falcor, I just fell in love with them.
Right.
I do have a Falcor mix that I just got in that I'm going to drop in a 3-inch Japarua that I'm fixing to put together. So interested to see that compared to the Cadix Turtle that I had. Really didn't like the quality of the image flying around. It was really grainy, but it also had that plastic lens, which I really wasn't too fond of. But I had a lot of problems just getting it to work in the first place. So, but yeah, with the Falcors, I love the colors, and they just look so rich and natural, and just feels comfortable with me flying. So I stuck with it.
I'm digging that Ritzel. At first I wasn't. I'm not gonna lie, but after tweaking it, I'm starting to get it to a place where I feel like it's pretty flyable. It's got good saturation and stuff. I've been pretty addicted to Runcam most of the time. I mean, when I tried the older Fox Series, I didn't like them, and so I kind of got turned off.
I love the new Fox here.
I kind of got turned off, and I need to give one a fair shake because I just, especially like the dusk, like that time that the golden hour time, and like as it's just starting to get dark, man, I just felt like for me the Fox here just fell apart.
Yeah, sometimes I got a problem with that. Like coming around the corner of my house, it's right where the sun's coming down. But a lot of that is just glare. I mean, I'll come around, it's like just boom, you just totally blown out for a second or two.
Glare being,
and I've gotten used to it now because I know of course I know the lay of the land, but initially it was a big problem, big problem for me.
right? Glare being one thing, because I got blasted out a few times myself, like when I was out flying Pilgrim at the Bando and stuff, coming around the building, it's just like boom, you're like whoa. But with the Fox ears, man, it's just like like especially in the summertime, when I might sit out and fly until like 9:30 at night or so, like I mean, with the Fox here, as it was getting dusk, I couldn't fly the quad anymore. But with there's been most of the time with my Eagles, I would be flying, I'd be ripping, and I'd be like running gates out at Flushing Meadows. We have a racetrack out there. I'd be running gates, man, and I'm fucking like ripping and fucking take my goggles off, and it's like fucking pitch black out. But like running gates, I'm like hitting them, and I'm able to see fine. So I don't know. It's just that's what I look for. Is like I like that nice transitional thing, that good low light transitional handling, but latency can be a factor. What are we showing off, Vice?
One of the Foxier Predator 4s. That's the one that I like, and it's in yellow, so that kind of helps.
That's a full size pred.
Yeah, I kept breaking the micros, so I went to full size.
It's one thing
I don't know. I kept just breaking that like plastic case on the side. The one it just kept breaking over and over, like a really hard front crashes. So
yeah,
mostly race practice.
I would say that the Micro Eagles, that's the biggest downside, is that they don't have a standard replaceable fucking case, and I have been able to replace them. It's a big pain in the ass, but if you actually hit them with a heat gun, like a heat gun really lightly, I have one for doing SMD rework. If you hit them, you can soften up the glue that holds it on and then cut it with an X-Acto, and then you can pick it off, and then you can fucking E6000 them back to, like a new body on if you have a donor. But that's one thing I don't like about a Runcam Micro, because I do break the cases and they're not easy to fix.
No.
What do you think is most durable right now as far as cameras go? You guys feel like there's any standout?
I mean, as far as like construction quality, they're more or less the same. I mean, they're plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just really a matter of how good the frame protection is and how well you can properly crash.
Easy says he likes the Arrow better in terms of budget image quality. He likes the Foxier. Oates says he loves the Foxier Micro. Racer 3 is pretty cool.
Runcam Nano 3.
Dude, I'm digging it. I am digging that, dude. That's one thing that...
It's probably the best nano cam they have right now.
Yeah.
Weight to what you're getting.
This little fucking thing.
There's probably better cameras, but not for that weight.
I mean, for as big as this thing is, it's
like
ridiculous.
the Foxier. Yeah, like I have the Foxier Nano. That thing's,
I still haven't
that's,
thrown my dad
one
hats
of
on
the
this
bigger
thing.
frames.
I got dad hats, and I was wrong, Vice. So I got frames, but one of them it's orange. It's not yellow.
Oh, it's all right.
But yeah, so
I'm
that's
gonna probably buy the B-Brain
yeah,
brushless frame when it comes out in yellow.
yeah. I love.
Newbie Drone just
It'd be in
quality,
yellow.
expensive but quality
They
product.
should have some.
Yeah.
Don't they?
There's
Have,
already
I
yellow.
want them to be all in yellow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's-
but I'd have to buy it separately
I don't think they.
because
Yeah,
it only comes into see-through. The brushless one,
the brush.
They
No.
have the brushed.
No.
no, this is the
No.
brushless, and it's I got a black frame. They got all the colors now.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, looks like I'm gonna be going out to Newbie Drone.
I bought a
after
dad
this.
hat, but I didn't get any
Told
frame.
myself I wouldn't do.
I heard
Yeah.
the Meteor 65
myself.
frame is the most durable one, so that's what I ended up grabbing. I don't know. I guess
Yeah,
I tested
I
out.
think that's what Patrick Clark mentioned or somebody mentioned.
I guess have you broken any of the Newbie Drone ones yet? Bread?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like here, this can bring it up. There's a little chip in the thing. Although that was like a
Oh, that's
that was like a
dirty.
60-foot dive bomb into the pavement, though. So
Okay, I think that came out real good then.
I mean, they are stiff frames, though. I mean, like the brushless frames kind of have some flex to them.
Right.
This thing's stiff
Yeah.
for what it
Let me
is.
grab. I haven't actually opened these yet.
Yeah, I still need to get one. Been flying the wife's around a little bit, but I need to get one like my own so I don't trash hers completely.
So I just got these fucking things. I haven't even opened them yet, but these are the Meteor frames, and they even gave me props. That was nice.
All right, on.
That's cool.
The you get them.
Yeah, I still got my old cockroach frame right here.
I love cockroach frames, dude. And I don't know if you've seen Say's posts lately, where she's got a stack. She did an art project, and now she's doing another art project. And she Newbie Drone gave her like, I don't know, probably like 100, 200 fucking like reject frames. Like if they just had like a little defect along the ridge or something, they would
wow.
just pitch it aside. And so she's got a stack of fucking cockroach frames. It's like 6 feet.
Oh,
It's like 6 feet tall. And then she fucking she's dyeing them all. So now she's got them. I almost need to find this now. I'm calling her out on the fucking
Yeah, I think it's on
thing.
her Instagram. Here, I can bring it up if you want.
It's like 5.5, 6 feet tall. This is it on her IG? I haven't seen it. It's not on her Facebook.
Someone has some questions.
What's your question?
Oh, the frame. It's the brushless cockroach frame from Newbie Drone. Hold on, let me look that up. I don't know the exact name. It's for the B-Brain brushless. Newbie Drone. Go to Newbie Drone
Actually,
products.
and while I'm at this, I'm gonna share this because, and if you guys want to help, like, Say's awesome, and if you're not aware, she's actually making these. Let me go full screen for a sec. Say's making these. These are glasses cleaners. You can use them for your goggles. You can use them for your glasses. You can use things like that. But it's all proceeds go to a help Australian wildlife, and they're fucking dope. She's made this tiny roo one. I'm waiting. Actually, she owes me a set. I ordered mine last week, but these. I'm so stoked to get these. I haven't gotten mine yet, but I would definitely say if you're looking for some lens cleaners, man, check her out. It's saywhat.com. Yeah, man. Did you find? Did you find? Is it Say Andrew? I thought it was Say What.
No, it was on her. It was on her story, and the story only lasts like 24 hours or something. I'm not actually sure.
Anyways, all right, let me get rid of her personal page. All right. So, anyways, yeah, man. So check out Say's stuff, man. She's awesome, and unfortunately, we couldn't find the pic, so fail. So yeah, let's
It's about so the frames that I was referring to are the cockroach frames by Newbie Drone for the brushless.
the brushless cockroach.
In the brushed. They're both called cockroach, multicolored and all that stuff.
the quality
Although
frames.
if you're looking for the most durable selection out of all of them, you want the clear because the dye will kind of make it a little bit more brittle. But Style over everything else, in my opinion.
So it's this one, yeah.
Yeah, that one. This is the one that I dive bomb like 60 feet in the pavement and then just a tiny little chip.
So this is what Red's flying.
That's up pretty awesome.
And I've
See, there's a
most
yellow version for you.
yeah. Oh, just for fucking Vice.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Looks like I have to buy it and but see, I wanted to buy it already yellow. You know, I don't want to buy it and buy the extra stuff.
Well, I mean, if you want,
Hold off, let me
but
get
I'll
you some
probably break
affiliate
the
links
frame
first.
anyway.
You can you can get them through that.
Yo, so
All
I
right.
mean, you know,
All right.
since
I'll
the
hit you up, Red.
since the clear ones are technically the most durable, you could also get a Jocard poly dye, and you could dye it yourself. It won't be as vivid as obviously a opaque injection molded frame, but you could definitely get a nice yellow tint on one. Doing it that way, and actually say once again, she's done some how-to videos on her YouTube, so you can check those out and get some tips there. But it's like Jocard, I don't know, iPoly. Just search iPoly dye and Tiny Whoop, and you'll be able to find the dye. So that's another way to get yellow Vice if you want to go that route.
Yeah, I could be all fancy.
You could be all fancy. So this is the blue. I'm actually gonna do blue and black, I think. Although I think I got a blue dad hat in here too. So I could go blue and blue, or I'll go blue and black and blue. Oh shit! All the screws are falling out. Of course,
This is not your shit, man.
of course, a big fail. Oh look, and it's all chromed out. Yeah, so you can't really see it.
Nice.
Blues are
Yeah, I don't think
nice.
anyone here
Shall
has
we-
the Tango 2 yet. Verb.
Does anybody in our
Nope.
viewers have the Tango 2 yet?
I do think some people did receive it today or something. I did see a couple of pictures.
I don't have the chat up. I'm
people
trying to pick up
receiving it.
all the screws I just threw on my desk.
Cement Kid says he ordered one.
Well, Vice has
Doesn't have
ordered
it yet.
one.
Yeah, I ordered one too.
So
But mine might. I mean, it said shipped, but I don't know if it's meant shipped. I thought, he might have just made the ticket and he's waiting.
shipped
We'll
usually
see.
means
I
shipped.
got it from
Where'd you get it
That's
from?
all.
Tyro? Oh, that shit's
Pyro.
shipped. Pyro doesn't fuck around. If
He
it's
sent me a free T-shirt. How can I not get it?
Batch
I'm
one
wearing
when it
his free
ships.
T-shirt now, by the way.
yeah, Pyro's dope, man. They sent me a beanie around Christmas time. I ordered a bunch of crap. And actually,
wear the
speaking of Pyro, so I got those GMB. Pyro's gonna be stocking macro stuff, and so big quad guys that are interested, and they already have cams on their list, so cam power props. But I'm still pushing really hard to get a 2600 Pyro pack. But for now, I'm using the
Way too warm
GMBs.
for this hat.
I'm using the GMB 2600s, and actually, Red, you should check those things out. I like them. I fucking like those packs. I didn't go crazy on it, trying to like over drain it, but in terms of I got a really nice flight time, and it had it felt like I had more solid power. It just like
The GMBs?
yeah, man, my props. I swear to God, maybe it was fucking like placebo or some shit, but I swear to God, my props sounded different. And it's only a 30-gram difference in weight, so it wasn't like a big weight difference. My props sounded meaner than I think I've ever heard them before.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how to. That's the only way I can quantify it, but it sounded gnarly. I was like, whoa. I have some footage. I had a kind of a disastrous day the other day, though. I rebuilt my bot effects, and apparently at some point, either blew up or either my cap came unwired or something. But the bottom line is, I punched my very first punch out. It fucking popped way up in the air, and my video went black, and I lost it all the way down to the concrete upside down, and fucking
Oh no.
smushed the GoPro. It was like I smushed my GoPro just a little bit. Like the door is a little crooked, but it works. And the fucking GoPro survived. I didn't break the screen. I didn't break the fucking anything, and it's in one piece. And it fell probably a good, I don't know, 50s or so feet upside down, straight into concrete. And I couldn't fucking believe it. But the cap, it was flattened, like 100% flat. So I just had
Better.
I had one of those days.
Your GoPro situation is better than mine. I had a brand new one that I hadn't even used yet. Just stopped working after the first recording. And then one that I've been using for a while that had seen no like proper crashes.
Right.
Just a oh, I hit some branches and disarmed on the ground kind of crashes.
Right.
And that one just stopped working. Like it was recording, stopped record, switch battery, hit record, no longer works.
Man.
Both of them.
Yeah, I was amazed, honestly. I haven't looked at my footage to make sure it isn't like glitchy or anything, but I did record a couple of things after that crash on the Bando, on the 10-inch, and I haven't actually had a chance to look at it yet. That was actually this is the day before yesterday, and I just haven't had a chance to get to it yet. But I will say I'm hoping the prop sound that I heard, I hope that is somehow have been like it's captured and is represented properly, because it with the 2600s it just sounded like it sounded gnarly. It just sounded like it had more power. It was crazy. And I mean, we're talking.
I'm in the market for big batteries because I'm in the planning stages for a hex.
What size?
5-inch.
You can do a 5-inch hex.
Well, I'm pretty sure it can do 5.5. It's gonna have like the same disc area as like a 7 or 8-inch quad. So.
Really? So what is your goal with that?
It's gonna be FetTech ESCs, so 6 motors on 3 wires. Basically, if we're using the one wire protocol, so you gotta have a power ground and then the telemetry line.
Right.
But I want all the motors on just basically 1 wire.
So are you just gonna go around the fucking quad with the signal wire, or how's that work?
Well, I mean, I'll have both ESCs sitting in the middle because I'm gonna have to use 2 4-in-1s.
Oh, you use 2 4-in-1s. I'm sorry, I missed it.
And
okay.
And that's going to turn out to be cheaper than getting 6 individual KISS ESCs, and still cheaper than getting 1 KISS 4-in-1 plus 2 individual KISS ESCs. So it just makes sense to get 2 4-in-1s from FetTech.
Right.
Literally cheaper, and I still get KISS. And so just run the motor wires to the ESCs, and then run the signal wire from the ESCs to.
That's gonna be interesting. How have you started thinking about your layout, like how you're gonna do your 4-in-1s, so that the motor wires aren't kind of weird, I guess.
I think the frame that I'm looking at that I bought, I think it has like mounting holes for like 2 stacks, like right next to each other,
Gotcha.
and then there's a third mounting solution in the back. But it should be pretty tidy, and then it should be enough room to get a Wolf PDB in there as well. That way I can use that as the PDB for everything, so I don't have to get all crazy with wiring. But that should be fun. It should be actually really.
I'm interested. I can't wait to see that.
Very complex because I'll be using 1 wire.
Right.
I don't need to have to hit all these different motor pads.
So you're gonna build a KISS hex. Interesting. And
It's gonna be sweet.
Are you gonna top mount or bottom
Sounds
mount
like
your
it's gonna be
pack?
the first of its kind.
Oh, top mount.
You're gonna top mount. And you think you gonna have room for a GoPro up there based on pack?
It uses a commander style camera mounting system. So like the GoPro is like sticking out of the front, and then the FPV cam's on top of the GoPro.
Got you.
Here, let me link it to you with the frame I got. Oh, I know. Let's go to.
Well, so while he's doing that, guys, I just want to bring up the. As you saw at the top of the show, we had our BQE logo slide up with this Stormer that is going to be given away next week here live on Between Two Props. The link, I think Vice is already dropping in the chat. So make sure you guys check that out. Give it a like, give it a share, drop a comment so we can keep track of you, and then come watch next week as we give away this Stormer. And actually, damn it, my slide's wrong. This is not actually a Hero 7 mount. This is a Hero 8 mount. So I'm going to clarify that right now. And you get some sick ass fucking glow in the dark Goonie gimbal guards. So Make sure you guys keep your eyes open. Join us next week for that. Did you drop that in the chat? Oh.
Yeah, it should be there.
No, Red.
I'm just trying to figure out how to share this post.
Is it a Facebook post?
It's on Rotor Riot.
Just send it to me in Messenger. I can get it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure that out. Yeah, I can't share this.
Oh.
Dude, just search Octo and Rotor Riot and then filter by most recent. It should be a question post that I made. Someone replied with the frame.
The Rotaract community.
Yeah.
Is it a post you made?
Mm-hmm.
Austin lived rip.
Because like I'd asked if there were any decent hex or octo frames out there. So if you just literally search octo and then do filter by most recent, it should be the top result.
Octo. Most recent.
I'll just save the image and send it to you.
Yeah, it'd be easier, dude. Oh, here it is. I found it. I see Chuck's. It's not Chuck's one, is it? Oh, is it the one Troy did, or who posted it?
Jeremy replied.
Oh, hold up. Oh, oh, okay. Okay. Here, this one.
Yeah. If you look at the replies to that, it has like a side profile of it. That frame is sick. I want it.
Bring it up full screen. That is pretty bananas. So it's like a long range, a long range hex. Yeah, it definitely has a wheelbase big enough to throw. You could definitely sling something a little bit hardier on there.
Mm-hmm.
Sick.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, so I want to kissify that thing with Fet Tech.
I'd be interested, man. I can't wait to see that. That seems like it would be a pretty sick build.
All right, now that we're derailed.
Completely derailed. Completely.
What's that soundbite?
Oh,
yeah, no
Stay
joke.
on target.
Stay in attack formation.
Right. So we're 40 minutes in. So we should probably so what's up with the Tango 2, guys? Let's talk about that. I think that's a good place to jump off. We kind of started touching on it. I didn't see if anybody in the chat has had it. Do we get any replies? Anybody get theirs yet? What up, Bone
A couple
FPV?
people ordered, but nobody received it.
And there's legs.
What's up, legs? So so what are your thoughts on the Tango 2? It seems like it's as with everything, there's lots of different takes on it.
Yeah, everybody loves it, right?
That's what it seems like.
I fucking thought it was cool, but I mean, is it for me? I can't really. I mean, I think that if I was trying to travel light and throw something in my bag, and especially if I was going to whoop race or micro, I think it's awesome. Would I go fly a wing with it? Probably not, but I have radios that I can do that with. So I don't know. I think it depends on what you're looking for, right? I mean,
you certainly could fly a wing with it. It does have trims. It's just there's no dedicated trim buttons.
I'm not saying you can't. I mean, and I know Trappy went 56. Somebody went 56 kilometers on the fucking thing, which is amazing.
Right.
And obviously, I don't know. I would have to look at the. I haven't actually checked the video or whatever. But the conditions being what they are. I mean, for me, when I'm flying a wing, I like to throw it up on 2 watt and send it, and and then I don't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? I don't fucking worry about it. So I just
true that. It's definitely not a radio for everyone, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Some people don't think that's okay because they were holding off for months on end for a radio replacement, thinking they were gonna switch to that, and then they were sorely disappointed because they didn't do a modicum of research.
Well, I mean, there was definitely obviously they tried to avoid leaking photos of it and whatnot online, but the specifications were definitely out there to be seen.
I mean, if you paid attention to any of the posts in the lounge or watched any of the couch streams by Trappy,
Right.
they peppered information about it for at least a year.
Yeah.
You know, it was going to be a controller a little bit smaller than the X Lite. It was going to have built-in Crossfire with no module bay.
Yeah.
Those are probably the two biggest things there, and that's probably the two biggest complaints are those two things.
I think that.
And
How many actual physical switches are available on it? Did they list that? I don't remember. I think there was like
two position, 2 3 positions, and 2 momentary. So 6 total.
Is there a view of that Vice that actually has the backside where the switches are? Is there any more pictures of it?
Let's see.
Oh yeah, there's one. Let's see. Oh yeah, you got your buttons. So they're more
You
like
can
push
see the
buttons there,
two-
more or less. Is it switch? Hard to see.
Yeah, see, that would
The
be
back
just a
ones look
total
like
waste
they're
for me.
momentary. Yeah, those are very like tiny and very specific.
Keep clicking. Is there?
These top ones here? These top
I would
ones
love
are
to have
the-
buttons like that
the
on
3
the
position ones.
T16.
Is there a
and then the
view
2
from
positions
the
are right
top?
here.
Isn't there a view from the top? There be. No, that's the
Uh,
bottom.
Behind.
Oh, it folds down.
Yeah, they're toggles, like
They're almost like rockers.
Yeah,
They almost
there's
look like
no
rockers.
good pictures of the
Yeah.
buttons. Yeah, here's the best.
Yeah, they're rockers.
You
Okay.
can see the 2 position and the 3 position.
rockers is what I meant to
Yeah,
say.
and then the moment. And for
I'd
the
l-
trims, it's like you triple tap the wheel.
I would love to have those switches on the T16.
Right.
I don't really like toggle switches. They're kind of a pain in the ass.
So we got what? We have a 250 milliwatt Crossfire built in. No other protocol supported at this time.
People severely underestimate how far you can go on 250 because that's another complaint people have. Is it's like I've gone 2.5 miles on 250 and I was more worried about video than anything.
Right.
And my video was perfect at that range, so there was no worries as far as link quality or anything like that's concerned. I mean, 250 is plenty, especially when you're on 900 megahertz.
Burb said he's made it a mile out. I mean,
Yeah.
with the full size, I go from 100 to 500. There's no 250 option, and honestly, I wish there was. I wish that there was an option on the full size because I feel like 250 is a sweet spot for most situations, to be honest. You're not drawing the shit out of your batteries because you're running all of this unnecessary power, but it's definitely going to give you that extra level of comfort, in most environments, man. And I go like when I'm just kicking it in a more or less open field, man, I'll kick it at 100 milliwatt all day and not even sweat it. But when I really want to be sure, I fucking kick it up to 500, and then I'm usually rocking an external pack at that point, just to make sure I'm not killing my actual radio batteries.
Speaking of which, apparently Mike Chen went 2 watts on internal battery power for the T16.
That's what I saw. That's actually really
Like, what the hell?
That's killer.
That's cool.
And he said he let it burn. He let it burn an hour. I didn't. Did you catch? I've been busy the last 2 days. I didn't catch though whether or not like where his battery, like how much battery did he mention how much battery it ate up leaving it there for an hour? Like
I don't know, but I mean, there's a finite size for those things anyways. So
right.
I mean, it'd be consistent for
I think it
everyone.
was 1 watt. He left it on 1 watt for 1 hour. He left it burn for, and it was fine. I don't know that he left it on 2.
Oh, was it 1?
I think it was 1 watt, but that's still.
That's plenty.
Yeah, 1 watt's crazy. I mean,
I mean,
truth be had, like outside of flying something like I said, if I know I'm going to send it out long range, or I know I just want that extra level of comfort, if nothing else, I'll kick it up there. If I'm flying wing, I'll kick it up there. If I know I'm going to send it out, do I need to? Probably not in a lot of situations, but it's just nice to have that extra assurance.
Yeah, if nothing else, you'd maybe want that for like really high noise environments.
Dragoneers in this chat. What up, buddy? Fucking yeah, dude. In noisy environments, exactly. You know, if you're flying with a lot of other people, you're in a noisy environment. You know, the ambient RF noise is high. Then yeah, you probably I like kicking it up personally. Obviously though, with any sort of amplifier, you're also turning up noise. So there is that, and that's I think more important in video, but could factor in with link. So what else we got to say about the Tango, Lake? So there's no. You said there is a neck strap STL and or the option to buy it. You can buy it.
Yep, for $5.95 or something. Comes with an O-ring and a M4 screw.
Is there a picture of it?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and find it real quick.
Yeah, see, that radio would be a total turn on for me all the way around. The simple fact with the push buttons and stuff,
Right.
I'd be clubbing that thing like a baby seal trying to get, disarm, I mean, Jesus Christ. I can't even imagine how stupid I would look standing in the field trying to do something with that. I'd probably be laughing the whole time too. I mean, it looks like a giant cat paw half the time anyway.
Is there a picture of it mounted to the radio, Vince? Oh, there you go.
Right there.
Voila.
There you go.
Voila. There you go. Here, let me. Oh,
I am French. Let's see what the other pictures are. Oh, there you go. I don't know if you get the strap with it. Let's see. Do you get the strap with it? You do not get the strap with it. Not included.
well, I mean, for $5,
A little
I wouldn't
disappointing.
I
A
wouldn't
couple
expect
of
it.
I think, yeah.
I mean, if you're ordering
Yeah.
from
But
fucking,
there is the
if
STL
you're
for 3D
ordering
printing.
from fucking TBS, you might as well just order a strap if you want one. Like, get it all
Yeah.
together. I would be interested in printing a couple. They recommend TPU for it. That's what I would expect.
Yeah, I'll probably harass you for it.
I would print it in
It doesn't even specify.
TPU or Nylon X or something robust. I wouldn't print it. Don't print it in fucking PLA or any bullshit like that. Print it in TPU or print it in fucking nylon or something gnarly.
Another negative I've seen people talk about, which I don't really understand, is the you can't remove the battery or change the battery.
Yeah.
I mean, you can open it up. It's not something you do in the field, but it has USB-C charging. And according to Trappy, you can have it charging and use it at the same time.
Yeah,
And the charging
that's a
is faster
desirable
than the
feature to
usage.
have a internal battery
Yeah.
like that. I mean, there's
But
no
I-
room for something
I feel
else
like some
anyways.
people. Exactly.
So
I feel like people are just trying to find negatives that aren't really there.
So I mean,
Yeah.
I held it. All right, I didn't really get a big opportunity to fly it or any of that, but I've held it. I
Legend.
felt with it. I felt the way it laid out
You
and
felt
stuff.
with it?
Felt with it. Yes, I felt with it. I felt the force.
Your feelings.
Felt the motherfucking failings. And I thought it was cool, man. I mean, for me personally, I felt it was a hair too small. For me personally, it is not much. The body is not much bigger than an X-Lite. It's just under the footprint of an X9D overall. The switches and things though felt great. The hardware felt great. The gimbals for me were too soft. But as I understand it, it comes with different springs. Is that not the case? I think that I read that.
Yes, yeah. It comes with 2 other sets of springs.
Sick. So that's the thing.
Default and lower tension and an extra one. And a sticker sheet and a 3D keychain for a limited time. only.
Default
Yeah, I have the
and
keychain.
lower
For-
tension. So for me, I would want higher tension. So
Default and lower tension.
I would think that you
So
could.
maybe I don't know if it's stock with higher tension. Maybe I'll have to rewatch the video for that.
I would double check it. What I felt, but then again, the one I felt was a pre-production too, and who knows what springs were in it. So let me just put that out there. But for me, it felt a little loose. But I do prefer a tight tensioner on my gimbals. I change out my springs. I get them. You can get the FR Sky high tension, high strength springs from I think it's like a Loft Hobbies. So I buy those up, and when I bought my Nirvana, it came with what was in the radio, and it came with a separate set of the high tension springs, and I'd swapped them out and turned up, and I torqued up the tensioners inside the gimbal just to get it as toy like a toiga as possible, because I like that. Some people prefer looser gimbal. I'm a PlayStation kid, right? So when I grew up, like, one of my favorite things in the world was buying a new controller, because the control sticks were nice and tight, dude, and they were like, your fucking aim, it wouldn't be as wonky as the way I felt, and as a gamer. But now I'm a hybrid flyer. So what are you, Red? Since you like low tension, what are you? Are you?
I'm hybrid.
You're hybrid?
I got thumbs, but pinching simultaneously, and I like loose springs, and I also like the stick's really loose. I mean, like, you could blow on the throttle stick and it'll move.
Throttle should be smooth and loose. What about you? Wendell? How you feel?
I've got throttles nice and loose. For me, if I can feel the sticks move, it's too much. Like, to me, it's got to be like a constant, flow from your mind to the sticks kind of thing. Like, that's how I adjusted my rates. If I felt like I was moving the quad too much, like it did move, if I thought it to go a certain way, but if I felt myself pushing it,
right,
I was like, okay, I got to change that a little bit. And same thing with the sticks. If I feel like if I can feel, they got to be like that mid-range kind of thing. Enough that they're not floppy, but enough that, I don't have to feel the stick movement. I don't have to think it through kind of thing. That's what works for me.
So tell us about yourself, Wendell. This is your first time joining us, man. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, let's see here. Started out flying planes not long after I lost my hand. That was 2006. An old GWS Crystal radio. God, that was always a nightmare having to change all that crap out. Then I upgraded to a JR, and then I've got my Tyrannus now, and I fly stock on everything except for the fact I've got an umbrella for the throttle.
Lift it up a little more. We can't see it.
Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay, I see it now. But yeah, I've got an umbrella on that one, then just a Lotus on the other one. And before that, I would actually use like a rubber ball like you get from the grocery store and drill like a 1/4 mil hole in it, and it would slide right over the stick. And I had like a neck tray, like obviously playing neck tray you'd wear,
right,
to hold the remote. And now, I mean, I wear a neck strap to fly, but I can stand to fly, but with my back being screwed up and my legs get shaky and stuff, so I sit. And I hold the remote, but basically just kind of claw into it, and they just feel it out with the umbrella sitting there.
And you use a lanyard, yeah?
Yeah. Don't necessarily need one, but it helps with the balance, because then I don't have to feel like I'm holding it with my hand,
right?
Because obviously I can't, hold it on the left side, but that way I can, I got the balance. I don't have to, worry about balancing the radio. It kind of balances itself.
So you mentioned, you lost your hand. I mean, I don't know if that's something you're comfortable talking about, but
I'm way too comfortable talking about. Don't get me started.
So tell us what.
Jesus Christ.
Tell us what happened, man. How did we? How did you come to this place and met your friend Nubs? Tell us.
How are you flying with one hand too?
If you all okay, let me stop one sec. If y'all don't know, watching, Wendell is amazing, man. He's an amazing pilot, amazing person. He's my brother, and he should be a fucking inspiration to anybody who is struggling with anything, because he's proving that you can fucking do it. All right, Wendell, hit it.
It's funny. Well, back in the day, you used to do a lot of weapons work, custom designing, and contractors, military police, collectors, stuff like that. And had a grenade launcher misfire. It was fortunately it was just a flashbang that was in the chamber.
Right.
Didn't make any difference, because you got 12-inch round, round about this big, and your hand goes around it. It's like a shotgun,
right?
Underslung on an M4. Pull the trigger, and the round detonated in the barrel.
Jeez. Holy fuck! Now, were you in the service at this time, or were you working?
No. I never wanted to be the government's bitch.
You're a PC?
I was actually a paramedic at the time.
You were a paramedic?
Yeah, and I was a paramedic for 10 years. That's how I ruined my spine. But and I did just gun work on the side. It was something that's always been in my family. I just was really good at it, and I could build literally anything. And I had everything I needed to literally build. You need something cool, I got the contracts for that. We build that out. But so I remember seeing it was like the fourth round going through it because I was setting the sights on the little lease site that sets up.
Uh-huh.
And it's about the fourth round going through. Instead of going boop, it just went boom. And I remember seeing the gun spin up and instantly thinking, oh, fuck. And, you know, I couldn't see anything. I couldn't hear anything. And the first thing I did was look down at my chest, you know, being a medic.
Right.
I'm like, oh shit, check my chest, pull my hands up, and this hand was just literally hamburged me. I think you've seen the pictures that in chat. I've shown a couple of people. They've got me kicked on Facebook a few times, especially with the memes I make with them. But
so was this like like an M209 or what was this?
M203, yeah,
M203?
it's M203, yeah. And when I pulled my hands up and saw this one, my first thought was, well, shit.
And that's a standalone? That's not like a rail mount.
No, that's not. No, it's not a Bluetooth. It's not the M79s. The Bluetooth that crack open like a shotgun, put it in the back.
Right.
The
Okay.
203 underslung on the barrel of an M4, and it would slide open, and you'd load the shell and it'd slide back, and that would cock it.
Right.
And it was funny because they wouldn't believe that I didn't get hit with anything.
So
behind me was my truck. It was like 16 holes in it. Like the biggest ones where the
shit.
end of the barrel went through the door.
Holy fuck.
But on top of that, you know, my stepdad was with me. And he was freaking out. And I was like, man, my station's just up the road. Just, you know, let's go there. See the ambulance is there. Took me to the hospital.
Right.
Well, they get there. They weren't there. I was like, fuck it. They can beat me. You know, they can catch me on the way. I know, you know, I'm fine. It's just my hand. Where the crew gets there, and these guys, I hired and trained both of them.
Right.
There's a guy and a girl, and they break out. The girl loses her shit. The guy starts breaking down. So I'm like, guys, it's okay. You know, it's like you see your friend all blown to shit kind of thing.
Right.
And they're like, oh my god. I was like, guys, it's just my hand. I was like, but look, I was like, look, worst case scenario, I'll count a shoe off and count, you know, to count to 10. I mean, seriously. And well, they were like, well, dude, how can you be joking right now? I'm like, I literally just had a grenade go off my face and I lost.
And you're alive.
I really don't give a shit.
You're fucking alive right now. Yeah.
Well, it's just, I didn't care. I mean, I honestly didn't. And for me, it's become more of a bonus. I mean, my mind doesn't work like quite right anyways. So it becomes a real bonus, especially when kids come and ask you, because they don't have any couth. You know, adults are like, oh man, I probably shouldn't ask you, but you know, I don't care. Kids are the best though. Mister, how'd you lose your hand?
Right.
Well, when I was my story always starts with when I was about your age. You know,
Freaking off too much.
I fell asleep with my hand off the side of the bed. The monster in the hand got my bed.
Oh,
or,
you're terrible.
Like, you know, like you'll see, like, you know, bank deposit boxes, the big heavy doors, you know, the night things. Well, this kid was playing with it, and he was slamming it shut. I said, man, you might want to be careful. He said, well, I said, when I was about your age, man, my hand got cut in, and they had to cut it off to get me out. And I just deadpan turn and walk away. I mean, no matter what.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, I just dead face walk away. And it's just giggling.
Oh my
That's
god.
great.
Giggling.
Oh my god.
So how long did it take to heal up from that scenario?
Oh, let's see here. Well, the
I'll be
ATF
right
was
back.
at my house like a day after. That was pretty cool. You know, to come get all the stuff from my house.
Right.
Which I knew they were coming and whatnot. You know, they already talked to me and stuff like that. But as far as the healing process, it didn't take long.
Yeah.
And in fact, I'm pretty mechanically inclined anyway. So I had a prosthetic for it. It was like a claw that stayed open, and I could squeeze it and clamp it shut, which was awesome because you just slap your shoulders and it would make it snatch.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you could pinch people's hands. You could break skin with it. I mean, it was one of those things I probably shouldn't have had in the first place. But
That's funny.
it was too easy for me to use, and ended up it was slowing me down.
Yeah.
The only time I would ever put it on is when I used the chainsaw. That was common sense, and I had made like the arm strap for my neck, you know. So, you know, I couldn't do the ash thing and carry it around. But other than that, I just never used it. Never have.
Well, yeah, because I know, you know, as I'm big into 3D printing, I've, you know, offered and talked to you a little bit about making stuff.
I probably had close to 15, 20 offers. People print me
Yeah, I'm
stuff.
sure.
And I say the same thing. I was like, dude, it's probably just going to slow me down. You know, I really appreciate it. You know, I really do.
Right.
But then, you know, I don't have a 3D printer for obvious reasons. I would build stuff that I really shouldn't. I mean, like, if you look at, dude, he blew his hand off with a grenade launcher. You really thinks he needs a 3D printer? I mean, come on.
Yeah, they're 3D printing teeth, man. So, you know, I'm in luck.
My whole family, they're on the same page with me. It's like, no, Dad, you don't need one. It's fine.
He is not allowed to have one.
See, what did I say?
It's hilarious. So like, you know, as you healed up and stuff, you said about 2006 you started flying planes on crystal radios.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, because I got bored. I have to stay active, kind of thing. My wife hates me for it because I've always gotten to be doing something.
Mhm.
And started flying, planes and stuff, and always wanted to be able to, like I'd find, look for videos and whatnot of people that would put cameras, GoPros in their jets and whatnot, fly those around. I was like, now that's what I would want to do right there. And after I learned how to fly and whatnot, kept on going and just, it was like a passing hobby kind of thing, something to pass my time. Still building guns and stuff, even after I lost my hand.
Yeah.
But it was just another, wasn't working.
Do you
So I was
shoot?
crushed as a medic.
Do-
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then let's see, it was about 5 years ago, I guess, when I stumbled on the quads. I just was looking around and saw one. I think there was the old Storm drones.
Mhm.
Saw those, like, oh man, that sounds awesome. And then I built one. God, it was like an old Enzo Cat frame that I modded out some Taro parts and just basically just modded it all the way out to my liking.
Right.
And then it's about a year and a half or so after that. Really wasn't big into it. Didn't have a lot of support for doing it, so I was having to kind of always do it on the side. And then I got with the wife, and that's when I got my Kia, and that's when I just went balls to the wall.
Well,
Crazy.
yeah, I met you because I've met you probably 3-4 years ago on the Korea group.
Yeah.
And
That'd be about right.
Yeah, it seems about right. And as I was getting into flying Talons, I knew you were getting into the Kias, and there was a couple of
I
us.
was gonna get the Talon first. I just like the look of it, and then I saw the
Such a
Kia,
good
and I'm like,
frame.
oh, I love the way that thing looks. And I fly with the wings on, which a lot of hate against the wings and stuff, but for me, it works.
Right.
It really, especially flying 5S with those Toa motors on there, I've got just ass tons of power.
You're flying 5S, you said?
Yeah,
5S?
2306s, yeah.
Ooh.
And 2306, 2650s. Which I dialed them down just a little bit because proximity is just too fucking much.
Right.
But it's more than enough power to push through any drag that the wings might give. But then when I cut the power, I instantly get that balloon effect.
Right.
And it's really hard to see because you can, it's easily to kind of do, but it's a lot easier to do when you don't have to plan on doing it. And when you're flying, it's a totally different feel. Coming through stuff, like I'll come down a few times, especially lately with the way I've changed my rates and stuff.
Mhm.
I literally get stuck. That's not me hanging there on purpose. I mean, I'd go up and I stick.
Right.
And it's just because I've got that drag that just hangs me there.
Right.
I'm like, okay, any day now, come on, drop. But I love it. Now I've got rails for it too, the TQ bars.
Right.
But I just didn't like it as much. I just preferred the way it flew, more of a fluid type, dynamic. I've got my 3-inchers if I just want to slam the fuckers around. So that's what I go with, and it works.
JC. Yeah, we do need some Goon Squad beanies, actually, JC.
Shit.
We're gonna have to work that out.
Dude, I want.
We're gonna have to work those out. So I got my fucking flex flip fit on, but hell yeah, we need some fucking Goon Squad beanies. Although it is starting to kind of creep up, looking like it might want to start warming up, but it is still February, so we'll see.
Yeah, February, and it's like
It's cold enough to have to wear
75.
one in the house.
I go outside with dude. I mean, when I'm just running around the city, I wear shorts even when it's 40 out.
Weren't you in shorts the other day? Yeah. Kevin was making fun of you. He's like, you showed up in shorts and I got colder instantly. I'm like,
Yeah,
like,
man.
everybody got colder as soon as you.
So you're running primarily the Kia as your primary frame then.
Yeah, that's my go-to frame. I mean, that's my baby. Like I said, I've got what I call my Raptor. It's a little Fly Egg 136 frame that I've admired that thing out so much. I think it's got a 138 wheelbase frame on it now. I stepped up the top guard so I could drop in the extra stack, put the DVR in it. That's why I had the mix cam, and the turtle in it. And but it's a bottom mount, and I really like the way it took me a little bit when I put the Toa motors on it. It took me a bit to get used to it, the way that 4S on there, because the way it would just slam around the corner. Because I was used to Kia to come around and spin, and when I had the Raptor set up before, it would do that as well.
Right.
And I thought that I'd forgotten because I just tuned all my rates down, and I thought maybe I didn't put match the profile over, but then I realized when I took it out the second time, the second pack, I'm like, oh yeah, I got that, heavy ass 4S pack on there now. So that's when I was thinking, I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna get that Japarua frame because it's built like a little fucking tank.
Mm.
And I'm pretty rough on frames. I mean, just the way I fly, when I wreck, I wreck.
Yeah,
I just break
Nubs doesn't
shit.
seem to help some days. So this
Oh my
this
God.
is my my career area, which is a race setup, and it is a bottom mount, and all of my racing setups I run bottoms, and then on my freestyle setups I run tops as well. You're running what? What are you running your motor output limit on 5S on that?
What did I set it to? I think it was 80,
About
or
80%.
85, something like that. Yeah.
Have
I
you
can't
have you
remember.
checked any of that stuff out, Austin? The motor output limiting that some of those firmwares are doing now. So on this, as you can see, I'm running these crazy ass. These are 5053s, and these are 2600 ZMXs, which are no longer made. But man, these are fucking insane motors on 4S. And I also, Jack Bear here, and I have been talking about throttle limiting a lot, or not throttle limiting, sorry, output limiting. And so I'm like, and I need to fucking get my talent out. And I hadn't been flying as much because I was, it's 4S and I've been on 6. And I took this thing out the other day running 70% motor output limit, and it still feels like it needs more. It's fucking crazy, especially on these props, dude. Like, so
Nice.
so radio, what are you flying? So what are you flying, Jack? You said that's an X9D, right? Wendell?
Huh? I'm sorry.
You're
what?
flying an X9D, right? That's what you showed earlier. Tyrannus.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Yep. That's what I got right now. I actually looked at the Nirvana, just because it was cool and everything.
AKA
but like
the
I said,
Batwing.
just the way it laid
The
out, like I said,
Batwing.
just the way I fly. I just like the big brick profile of my Tyrannus, so it just sticks.
I would say that with Nub, you might have a challenge with the bottom here. Actually, the only spot I can see you really have a challenge with is over here. You see these two switches here, or I don't know which side. I don't know which handed you are now, but so these are kind of recessed. You might.
I will fly anything. God damn it, man! Fuck. See, go away for 1 second.
Fucking
What happened?
it was Nubs, but I didn't see him. I heard him. I didn't see him. But yeah, the Nirvana's great. I like the recess things, but switches. What so you're on a jumper, Red?
Yeah.
And how do you feel about the jumper?
Oh, I love it. I was rocking the QX7 before,
Mhm.
and what felt comfortable for my hands, doing like hybrid pinching, they sit too low,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't have like enough leverage to go like full deflection, like opposite of where my hands rest.
Right.
For
I have
like
the same problem.
T16, it just feels naturally up higher my hands, so now I have full leverage, and it just makes all the difference.
And
That and it feels like a modern radio with a fucking color screen and
right.
Yeah, that's
pictures
what I liked
and
about it too, is that color screen.
What's the size difference of the you're the T16, right?
yeah. Here, let me do a comparison.
So, and what do you
My original radio
yeah,
was
what do
the
you fly?
X7 as well.
Yeah.
Well, I fly the X9D because one day I forgot my radio at the field and my buddy had an extra X9D, flew it, and I was like, I have really small hands, I guess, and the X9D was just the perfect size compared to X7. It was just a little too wide. I couldn't get full deflection, as Red 5 was talking about.
See if I can't get these both in view. So it's a little bit taller,
Right.
but I think it's like the same width, maybe.
About the same width. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to
It's hard to get a perspective. Yeah. No,
hard to convey.
that's cool. But what about weight? How do they feel weight wise? Is it heavier or lighter than the QX7?
It kind of feels lighter, maybe. I don't know. Probably about the same, actually.
Yeah. And you're coming from a QX7 to an X9, Vice. How do you feel about the differences in weight between the two? Did you notice any difference there?
Since I use a strap, it never really bothers me. I keep the strap pretty tight, so when it's sitting there, I'm not even holding it. It's just kind of hanging a lot, so weight's never been an issue.
Gotcha.
For me, it was just really the spacing, the space difference. Just the space from the side to the stick was smaller, so my hand could I could get more hand in there. Because with the X7, it's a little bit wider, so it was just with my small hands, I don't know.
I mean, I've flown.
Yeah,
Curse
so
of
like,
small
I've
hands.
flown
I
with other
guess.
people's X7s, but I haven't flown the jumper yet. So, are you using any of the protocol? What protocol are you primarily running right now? Just FR Sky, or what are you running Red primarily, or you just run Crossfire?
crossfire everything unless it's like the whoops.
Right.
So like Newbie Drone accidentally sent me a what do you call it?
Fly Sky.
Spectrum
Oh, a Spectrum.
version. I was like, that's not a problem. I got multi-protocol. No big deal.
Right.
That's awesome.
So, what protocols
That's
have you
awesome.
used? Have you used FR Sky, Spectrum, and Crossfire with it so far, or just
I mean, before I switched to Crossfire late 2018, I was using just primarily FR Sky.
right?
And
Do you,
then from there, just straight Crossfire.
do you fly any of the older, any of your older quads that still run FR Sky with it yet?
No, I ripped that shit out.
Just replace everything with Crossfire.
Hell yeah.
So, what about like, have you guys done any mods like outside of maybe just umbrellas or something? Like, have you done any mods to into your radios?
Not on mine, just the the skin and the kickstand, sounds and stuff like that. I did,
Just-
but nothing.
Yeah, just threw on the carbon faceplate and little FPV camera or screen.
Is that a watch?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the Boz cam. I just pulled off the
The watch.
wrist straps
Right.
and then filed down the mount for it.
Yeah.
It-
The only mod I've been interested in was doing like a removable antenna, just because I use Crossfire. Having that, floppy antenna always there, I feel like I'm eventually going to break it. So I feel like
I did the 5 dB
detachable
mod
antenna would
on
be
my
nice.
Tyrannus, and I've broken it several times actually. I've had to replace
That's
it.
actually
I've
really
had
funny.
to replace it now probably at least twice. I would say I've replaced it twice because if you don't get it really tight when you do that mod, I actually use a 3D printed part and stuff, but for whatever reason, my first attempt I failed to. It was locked down for a while, but over use and abuse, the 3D printed part I made at the time started to kind of deteriorate, and it started getting loose, and then the SMA broke, and then I started getting radio antenna is defective warnings. Your radio antenna is defective.
Speaking of which,
that's the worst.
there's probably like a good month that I was using a BNC connector hooked up to the radio. That way I
Uh-huh.
could just quick disconnect and connect the Crossfire antenna, because that gets a pain in the ass, swinging around this T-shaped thing to get it threaded on there.
Mm-hmm.
So the BNC just push down, twist, and it's connected.
Mm-hmm.
And that works fine. You're probably losing. I mean, if it's like a decent quality BNC connector, you're probably only losing like maybe 1 dB.
I think it's like 1.5 is usually what you lose.
If it's like a shitty one, you're probably losing out on like 4 to 5. I stopped using that because I would get telemetry lost sooner for some reason. So
yeah, I can
no
see it.
connectivity issues, never fail safe, but I would lose telemetry quicker.
They do come in different resistances. It's possible the resistance was kind of thrown off because the Tyrannus.
Good chance.
The Tyrannus actually reads the resistance of the antenna, and it's how it knows that it's attached and it's working, and that's how it knows to give you the warning when it's not. Because if you break the BNC or you break the fucking SMA on when you do the mod, if you run it too long like that, you will burn out your transmitter board. And so I'd gone through like at least once a season. And I think mine right now is like fucking shrink wrapped on right now or some shit. So it doesn't spin, but it's definitely wonky.
It's there.
But I don't fucking use that radio so much anymore. I'm gonna fix it up a little bit more and fucking just keep it for like dual operator shit. But I switched to Nirvana early last year, and I don't want any other radio. I think the Nirvana has come a long way. Underground FPV is no more, as I understand it, but FlySky is completely developing it, and parts are coming, and OpenTX 2.4 will support it natively, so you won't have to jump through any hoops to update your firmware anymore. You'll get
nice.
you'll get native OpenTX support on it, and that's clutch because I fucking love this thing. It's a good, ergonomically speaking. It's, I think, like what you were saying, Red, like where the gimbals are. It just, for me, it feels much better. And when I try to go back, because this part from here to here is narrower, and then the way it flares out, it's ergonomically really nice to hold.
Mhm.
And
That does look nice.
and when you
I've held one. I get the same better leverage, hand holding on it.
right.
For that thing. I don't like the look of the gimbals.
So the thing I love the gimbals. The thing I do like about this is that your antenna is there. So
Yep.
if you're not running Crossfire or you're whatever, you just fucking, when I'm flying whoops and shit on FlySky, I just pop this out.
Boom, full mast.
Yep, full mast, and it's pretty dope. There are some modifications, and actually, so one thing you may not know is that this is actually it actually has diversity in there. There's right here, there's a fucking patch for your FlySky in here. So
no shit.
It's built in. There's
cool.
two antennas. There's a patch built in behind here, and then you have your mast. And overall, it's fucking really good. Now, the only thing, like I was commenting to Wendell, like this might be
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at.
this
Yeah,
might
that'd
be problematic on one side for you, but there may be some way you could potentially do something. Maybe you could fucking put them out here or do something if you wanted to. But
yeah, because on that side, all I use is really just the arm switch.
I mean,
for arm on that side.
it's got a full complement of switches up top. The one thing I do like about it is there's no switches here, because these seem to be those switches that everybody fucking breaks on their fucking Tyrannus. And then occasionally they'll break one of these, but it's like always these. I always see these broken off the fucking
I've
radio.
got some loose ones, but I don't think I haven't. broken
JC's
them.
asked if you pinch your thumb, Chad.
I'm a hybrid, so it's I kind of just kind of rest my finger here. I don't really do this so much. I kind of just use it as a bumper, and it helps me, especially in throttle and things. It just gives me a reference. It's just about feel for me. I definitely there's more emphasis on my thumbs than these. These are, I'm using these more as just like, sometimes I won't even rest it on the stick. I'll just kind of like lay it there, and I know like I'll kind of run into it and it just kind of softens, and then I'll kind of grab on and push back. I'll use it for feedback and resistance when I want it.
Yeah.
But I mean, dude, so like, and it took me no time. Now they have 3D printed, these right here, they have replacement STLs, so you can get different grips and stuff down here, which is actually really nice as well. Actually, Wendell, that's a thought. You could remove this and actually
reach up in there.
and actually you could just maybe put a pad. You could replace it with like a pad, and then you could potentially lengthen or maybe adjust one of these as needed. You know what I mean? Or just maybe lose one of the switches and leave one that you can use.
Right. That's what I was thinking too. Drop one.
Yeah, there's fucking mad switches on it. I definitely don't use them all. The other thing I do like about it is these joysticks. These are joysticks for like, you can use these for your luas and navigation and shit. And these are also your trims while you're flying. So that's really nice. The hardware is fucking great. It's a little, with the 18650s in it, it's got some heft to it. I printed this plate down here, and it's the same screws that holds on your lanyard clip, but I Velcro a spare pack down there. Might be hard to see, but down there is a fucking battery checker. So I always have one on the radio, and actually while I'm flying, I just fucking plug it in. And then I always have a monitor on my fucking Crossfire just in case, which is handy to have. And then if you just need to check a pack or something.
Shit.
So just little simple shit, man, that can like really, help out, because like these, you can run these on 100 no problem. I have had problems at 500 and up on my full size module. You can run them up to 250. You can run a micro up to 250 on the native batteries. Past that, you really want to run an external battery. However, the developers on RC Groups and a couple other guys have chipped in, and they've developed a power system mod where you install a proper Pololo Beck, and you cut a trace, and you actually tap the batteries and fucking you reroute to the pin that powers your Crossfire. And there's guys that have done the mod that are running 2 watt on their wings all day. The sickest part about this radio is that while you're flying, you can pull one of the batteries out and change it, stick another battery in, and fucking then change the other side, and without turning the radio on. So if you send, you got a wing up or something, you want to stick it in loiter, you can stick it in loiter and change your fucking batteries without losing signal.
Oh, no shit.
And so that's pretty hot. Like, that's pretty dope. So I always carry, like 4 to 6 extra AT650s with me. Plus I use them in my goggles. So like pretty much I'm just using the same fucking style battery for goggles and fucking this thing. And then I just use like GMB 850 or so down here. But the funny thing is I was worried about the battery checker getting in my way, but the way I hold it, it doesn't even, I don't even touch it. I don't even know it's there. It's just like tucked away up in there. And cause you're not gripping this thing like for dear life. You know what I mean? You're like, you're actually kind of like just resting like this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And just like your pinkies just kind of like rest there. This is here. You got your switches here, which are, it's a little weird to do with your middle finger at first, but I've found that I really like it. I actually set up a pre-arm on that, and then arm, and then I've got LEDs, my beeper, my rates. No, sorry, this is my modes. And down here, this is my rates. And over here, I sometimes will also use this as an LED switch, depending on which setup I'm running.
Wow.
One thing that I've done for my Cinewhoop, which I don't know, like if you guys have you guys done any like OpenTX, like hackery at all? So I'll show you my radio when it boots up.
Nothing too hacky, but I did reverse controls when I mirrored the FPV cam.
Yeah, so on a cheater quad, so the nice thing about these two is you have a touchscreen.
Oh, that's pretty badass.
Right. So on a cheater quad, what Austin's talking about, and that is a sick ass little trick. But
yeah, same concept.
On a cheater quad, I don't know if this is going to show up good. I have a switch. So the switch that changes my camera also changes the direction. You can hear it. So it actually changes direction of pitch and roll. So when I flip to my cheater camera on my Cinewhoop, this the same exact switch is sending a signal to my flight controller to use the camera switcher in there, and it's also switching direction in the mixer section in OpenTX for my pitch and roll. So when you flip backwards, now you're flying. It feels like you're flying forward. Takes a little getting used to, but if I have aquatic, basically you're flying along, and when you flip around, you have a camera going back this way, and you flip the switch, and now your pitch and roll reverses. So now it's like you're flying forward, but the quad's now going backwards, and it's like, which is dope if you get in front of another quad or a wing, and then you flip around and you have your GoPro pointed at them, and they're like, especially if they're above, a little bit above you, you can still get a dope shot. Fly under them, get a dope spin around, flip to cheater mode, and then just keep going. You know what I mean? And it's like you're flying forwards. And
that's dope.
Until so that's a sick little trick I learned this year. There's the other shit like just, with the
Here, I'll link my video, because the thing that I did was I'd mirrored the FPV cam, and I'd done that on accident last year.
I forgot about that part. Yes. Yeah.
Because I was like, because I had flipped the camera around or did something, and I tried to flip the image and I didn't do it correctly, so I just mirrored it, then my sticks didn't work right. So then I'm like, well, let me fix those. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm in a mirror dimension right now. That's the problem. So then I was like, I filed that away in my memory, and then you showed me the cheater quad thing. I was like, oh yeah, I did that once. So then I made a video about
Right.
flying in the mirror dimension, and it's doable, but it's fucking weird because like if you're flying in a familiar spot, like
Your
you're used to
muscle
hitting
memory
this.
is a certain,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
You-
that's what the way I do it. Obviously, is I'm actually flipping those controls. So when I'm flying backwards, it's the same as it ever was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just that transition when you actually turn the quad around and flip the switch to go the other direction. It's that transitional period. It feels a little funky, and you're like, you got to get your head around it. It's like you really just want to turn around, and it's a lot easier on a Cinewhoop. You know, on a 5-inch or something, it's a little crazier. But
Oh, I bet.
But spin around and you flip that switch, and then you just have to like, oh, I'm now going this way, and because your camera will switch with the cheater quad, so now you're looking at a different direction, and that whole thing, it just you got to get used to it, and it takes a second, and there's that split second where your video blinks sometimes, and you're like, oh, am I gonna lose it? And then it's like, and then you're back and you're going. If done right, looks fucking sick on footage, like super sick. I know I saw the Rotor Eye guy is doing it at one point, and it's a neat trick. So, and if you guys haven't caught it, in the description of this video is Red 5's YouTube channel, and Red decided to flip his camera in mirror mode and try to fly that way, right? That's effectively the story. So
the mirror dimension
The
is a
mirror
weird
dimension.
dimension, but it works. You can fly like that, and it definitely made a spot that I've literally mastered feel super different.
right.
So, yeah,
That's pretty cool.
it's a fun experiment to try.
That's yeah. That would definitely screw some people up, myself included. One thing I will say, show you.
Yeah, thanks, Weiss.
This on here? Is it seeing my? Oh, this thing's seeing my crossfire right now. So I think I booted it up with. Am I not in crossfire mode? I don't know what whoop I've got. One dope thing about the Nirvana too is that, you know, since you do have the touchscreen, and the gimbals that you don't like, which I put LEDs behind mine, and I want to do a few more, but I think that's awesome because like when the screen goes dark, when the screen goes to sleep, you can still tell the radio's on from a distance. You can tell, you know what I mean?
That's
It's because your
pretty
gimbals are lit up the whole time. But one thing that is great about these is that it has native crossfire support. So when your crossfire shows up, like which it's gonna be hard for me to see. There's actually a thing here, and you just hit crossfire setup, and it's gonna be hard to see with my chroma. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's getting keyed.
Yeah, it's getting keyed out. But your crossfire setup is in here, right here, and so you can set up your VTX. It's all touch button if you want to switch to from yeah. You click on it and it pops up a menu, and then that menu says like 10 milliwatt, 25, 100 milliwatt, all the way up to 2 watt, and you just pick your power. And that's it. And then you can also change your bands and your op modes and all that sort of stuff. You can change your your Bluetooth.
And you can reach that with a button, right? You don't have to go through menus to reach that, right?
With this, I've never
Like reaching the Lua with just a press of a button.
It's not a Lua though. That's the native support. You can do that, yes. You can set up Luas to pop up, and you can also use the Crossfire Lua. But the interesting thing about the Nirvana is it has a built-in mode that isn't a menu. I've not honestly tried to set up a quick shortcut to it because I don't want to accidentally go there typically. But I know that on in OpenTX and on the Nirvana, you can actually set up widgets, which are like little buttons like on your iPhone, and it will take you to your Luas and things like that as well. So you can just tap your screen and go straight to your Lua if you want. Or if you want, like iNav, the iNav Lua's bananas. It actually shows your telemetry, like your altimeter and your angle and all that stuff on the fucking Nirvana. So for like guys that fly with a secondary monitor or some shit, they can have all their telemetry readouts and stuff there. Or if you're flying line of sight or a wing or something like that as well.
I don't think you can reach the crossfire Lua with just a button press on other radios, but I think you can on
the
yours and now the Tango too, because like it's just an immediate boom, you're there in the Lua.
I
Because
think
like on this thing, I can't do that. I have to go through some bullshit to get there.
I thought you could on a Tyrannus though. You can because you can set up a telemetry page and you can set a Lua as the telemetry, and I'm pretty sure you can set that to crossfire.
If it's possible, I want to know it because I got to go through like 4 hoops
Is
to
the
get there.
OpenTX menu similar to the Tyrannus on that?
Yeah, I mean it's
Pretty much the same shit.
It's pretty much the same, just flashier.
Here, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab my Tyrannus. So if you go to the menu, hold tight. I'm going mobile. I'm on my mobile mic.
Yeah.
No, I'm going mobile.
I'm on the mobile mic. I'm going through the house. I'm coming back. on my Tyrannus.
Play by play.
It's
Boo. I'm just kidding. That's legit.
I'd show you mine, but I'm on the small screen.
So my RTC battery is low. I think that's like the watch battery, right? I gotta do something about that. So one thing actually on a Tyrannus, you should get this on your jumper. This is like a VTX table Lua script, and I just have to press hold to bring that up. So like I got my thing, I just press and hold, and then there's the VTX tables, everything right there. And if I hit menu, it actually has a band layout, which I don't know if anybody at home will ever see any of this shit. Here, let me go full screen.
No.
So it's actually your VTX frequency layout.
Okay, I see.
And yeah, you just hit menu, top menu. But anyways, to get there.
Later, Verb.
Good night, Verb.
Verb's out.
See, Verb.
So to get there,
you
you tap menu and you go to tap menu and you hit page to go to telemetry, and you go down. Where is it? Telemetry? No, I'm sorry. You go one page past telemetry and you go to display, and you'll have screen 1, screen 2, screen 3, and you go to script, and then you should. Oh, I guess I can't. You should be able to pick the crossfire. I think you might have to move it around maybe, but you can pick Lua's. I don't know if this thing's got the latest shit on here, but you could pick Lua's there. And then when
See you, Redbeard.
When you press and hold page, it should go through your different Lua's. But my race flight one's not coming up because I don't have it connected.
But that's what I'm saying. You got to kind of go through some hoops to get to that point.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Where I think like on the Nirvana and the Tango 2, like you can just like bloop get there and like
with the widgets you
just
can
cut to the chase.
Yeah, with the widgets you definitely can on the Nirvana. I actually haven't done it because like I said, I don't go there. I don't go there often enough, really. I mean, maybe just like when I first set a quad up, I go in there, and then every once in a while. But honestly, bro, I run full size crossfire, and I just like usually flip to the back and change shit on the screen half the time because I'm lazy, and it's really immediate and it's just there, and I can look.
Yeah.
You know, I guess
I got the micro though, so I have to use it. So
yeah,
same.
I'm still one of the few that's not running Crossfire quite yet, just because I've never had to use it. I've never run into a situation.
While we're here, have you had any problems updating your Crossfire receivers lately, Austin? Because Vince is stuck on 3.0.
I got stuck on 2.94. I tried to jump to like the latest.
That's what I was stuck on.
And then
I
like
was stuck on that for a while.
I had to incrementally update. So like I had to go from like 2.94 to like the next 2 updates, and then I could jump to the latest. It wouldn't let me update otherwise.
That's what I was doing.
What up, PJFBV?
I couldn't get past 3.0. Once I got to 3.0,
he's stuck on 3.0, which is really weird.
Yeah. Like he gave me, I updated my Tyrannus OpenTX software to like 2.35 and upgraded from 2.34, what you were on, to 3, no problem. Did it to all 4 of my quads that had old firmware. And then I'm like, all right, next firmware. And it would just be in bind mode and the receiver just doesn't show up. The Tyrannus is just in binding mode and it doesn't fuck up. There's still a few things I'm going to try. I'm going to try and just, power it on while I hold the crossfire button. Supposedly that starts it in binding mode.
Yeah, and I can send you the link I sent to Artie because he was having some problems. So Artie was having problems with his last, when Crossfire Shot came out, when he first tried to start updating to that, he was having some challenges because he had some old receivers.
Yeah, I'm dying to try it out.
And I'm telling you, bro, we worked on it together, and he updated to a nightly build of OpenTX, and his micro worked. It just boom started working. So I think you might be on the wrong.
I'm gonna do the nightly.
You're gonna have to try the nightly.
Yeah, I'm on the release of 2.35. And I'd imagine, since 3.0 is so far back, it would totally be fine.
Well, you would think, but I don't know. Maybe they changed something in OpenTX that's kiboshing it because it wants you to be on 3.24 or 3.25 or whatever the latest Crossfire is.
Yeah, maybe I'll go back to 2.93 and go straight to.
Such a pain in the ass. Well, easy saying after 2.98, you sometimes have to step it up to 3.23, which I didn't do. I went from 2.9.
I tried to go incrementally
to up to 3, and then I ended up jumping into like 3.1 something, and then I did like 3.2 something, and then I started when I was testing the fusion shit. We were on crazy shit, like crazy beta builds and shit. So like, I was running the beta for a minute, and it was all good. It was all fucking good. I've never had a problem with it. I don't know. Maybe it's just the ordering I did it. But that's actually, honestly, the one reason that most people are lazy about updating their radios. And I
didn't even know there was 4 updates that I missed.
I was lazy as well, y'all. And I recommend that you don't be, because even though you're updating your Crossfire, if your OpenTX isn't up to date, there are changes going on in the radio itself that have to support the changes that are in the Crossfire. So if you're not updating things in tandem, you could run into problems. And that's what I've seen a few people have lately. And I used to be lazy about it. I hated doing it. But especially with the Nirvana's. Nirvana's gotten a lot easier, but it was a big pain in the ass. It was a big pain in the ass initially, especially when using the underground FPV shit, because the way they did it was so janky, dude. You had to buy it, you bought it, and then you had to connect to their server to authentic, your UID of your radio got logged onto their server. And then they would let you use their firmware because they could use the UID to identify that it was one of theirs. But the problem was they implemented it poorly, and half the time that shit didn't work. So you had to fucking hit up Jonathan Crum to fucking give him your UID screenshot, show him, he would enter it, and fucking, it was a whole nother job for him. But thank God he did it because it helped a lot of people get going. But having said that, man, the latest updates are good. It supports multi-protocol. Now they have their new AHSD or whatever. I actually never bound a FlySky module ever until I got the Mobula 6 last week, and I got the FlySky version, and it fucking worked like anything else. It was easy. I hit the bind button on the radio. Honestly, I thought it was easier because I don't know if I had to hold the bind button when I plugged it in. I thought I just had to touch it. But anyways, it was fucking mad easy. I just click, and it bound right up, and it was no problem. Is that English? FlySky's been okay for me. I haven't, like I said, I haven't used it a lot, but it's been okay. And I used to shy away from it because I was so familiar with FR Sky that I just used to just shy away from it, to be quite honest. And then when I switched to Crossfire, everything got so easy. And I'm like, why bother? I know guys that run fucking nanos on their whoops and don't care about the extra weight because they feel the latency.
I run nano on all my micros.
Well, micros, yeah, but I know my buddy Velcro and those guys were running them on their fucking alien whoops. Because on an alien
totally
whoop,
gonna put it on my whoop.
On an alien whoop, you have to add a receiver anyways, and so they were just throwing Crossfire on it for the latency.
Oh, it doesn't. Yeah.
But then a lot of
I'm-
guys,
I'm pretty done with the. Go for it.
I was just gonna say a lot of the whoopers now are running Bayang or Bayang, however you pronounce it, which is SPI.
Yeah, I'm so done with the boards with the receiver on the inside already, unless it's been modded with the better antenna. Just that the all-in-one boards with the RX and VTX on the board they're
Well,
nice, but they're not up
I
to.
haven't had any problems with that.
They're not.
is the newbie
I
drone?
mean, I'm in the minority. No, Newbie Drone has proper receiver. I don't know about VTX actually.
Is
but
it-
If
I
you
know
get
they have a really
the
nice free sky receiver.
if you get
with
the
Edison and everything.
B brain, like the standard one, you have to put a receiver on it. If you get the
Mhm.
Hummingbird brushless board, I believe that's built in, or I might have it reversed. I don't know.
What about the VTX?
Um,
Are those separate boards or are those built in on any of them?
If I
here, let
remember
me
correctly, it sits on the back of the camera.
see, because I got both. Where the hell is it? Oh,
What up, 608 in the chat? Rat in the chat. Tesla FPV.
so this is the Hummingbird one, the brushless, and that has a VTX. Is it the VTX? No, that's the receiver. VTX is built in. This is the B brain. VTX and receiver are built in. And then the brushless, the Hummingbird brushless board, receiver, and just the receiver is built in. You have to get a VTX for that one.
And which VTX are you using?
The one that came with the Mark II camera that people are having problems with.
What problems are they seeing?
So if you run the OSD firmware, you get like a flicker,
Mm-hmm.
like a line type flicker. I see it too.
Yeah.
And you have to solder a wire from the VTX to the board to get that to go away.
It's
If
a-
you're running the OSD firmware.
It's a classic grounding problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a classic grounding problem. Got you. So is the
I-
is the VTX on it? It's 1S, right? So it's just a yeah.
Yeah, just a
It's a
25
nice
milliwatt.
VTX, actually.
It's decent VTX.
Actually, on the website, the B Brain, the one that people can buy, probably not the tester one, it says it goes up to 100 milliwatts.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong then.
What does the Mobula go up to?
Yeah.
Isn't that like 100 or
doesn't-
something?
25. No, 25.
Is it only 25?
That's with the inborn one. The one on the board.
I honestly didn't get that far with the Mobula. I love the way it
Yeah,
flies.
I never tried to go above 25.
Well, I just on that name
Oh,
that
608 is saying
nameless
200
that nameless.
milliwatts.
I actually kicked it up to 100 or so the other day when I went outside with it with the nameless setup. That's cool.
Oh, my bad. The brushless, it's the Mockingbird, not the Hummingbird. You have to put a VTX, or
Yeah,
you have to put a receiver on it.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's always a
Yeah, I have one
downside
of
to an
the
AIO. You know,
earliest
if you
ones.
burn your fucking VTX, you're gonna fucking kill your whole board, and that's a drag. And I think that VTX is probably one of the first things to go on everything, you know. And I've got old newbie drone F3s that are still kicking it with the separate VTX board, and I've smashed it into a million things, and and you know, it's fallen 10, 20 feet or more outside and all sorts of stupidity. But I was trying to fucking dive this like old silo with my whoop, and it was so sketchy, and I crashed it about 20 times and it still fucking lived. But these things are impressive, man. All these new fucking 1S, like the Meteor and the fucking newbie drone stuff and the Mobula, like these little guys are getting good. They're getting good, man. I mean, like I've got JESC and Emu and Project Mockingbird on this, and it flies fucking really good.
I mean, the electronics have gotten miniaturized to the point where they're reliable, but still powerful, that I feel like we need to be cutting the size in half at this point.
Well,
Everybody's moving to 20 by 20.
I mean, we could literally, I mean, for
six
this, we could go smaller,
Yeah.
right.
much smaller. I want to fly that, where it's Because this is what, a 65 millimeter across or something like
You
that.
want a
I don't know what the
33
dimensions
millimeter
are.
or something. It's be like
But
nothing.
like,
See nothing to it.
I want it half this size. I want to fly that. That would be awesome. And there's cameras. There's analog cameras like the spike cameras that you stick in the screws and shit. There's cameras
I
that
got one
small,
figured out.
so they exist.
That's-
Just make it FPV friendly.
It's a good.
And-
James Mega in the chat just made a point though. He's like need physical distance between the traces to mitigate noise, which is actually a really good point.
I don't necessarily think so, because the voltages are going to be so low. I mean, you could drop this plugged in water, pull it out, and the voltage isn't even high enough to jump around and
I've
short things.
I've done that.
I mean, caps are getting
I've
smaller
soaked my
too,
whoop
but
completely in water, totally fine.
Mhm.
I mean, it's one of those things like noise, stacking boards. You know, Vice and I were building some micros recently, and we were talking about whether or not to put our Crossfire on top of
I
our
still don't know if
VTX.
I'm gonna get noise.
Mine's fine, dude. I
Yeah,
flew it
we'll
out.
see if I
I
get
flew it all
noise.
over
Yeah.
Helen back in
I'll-
Highland the other day, and it's great.
Yeah, I'll have to show you.
It's fucking really good, actually.
Um,
But yeah, I mean, it is a
So,
concern.
A little off topic, but you guys were talking about the Whoop boards being all-in-one boards. I recently saw that HGLRC have what they're calling kind of like a Cinewhoop board, where it's an all-in-one 20 by 20. It's FC and ESC, and they're
Oh,
saying
okay.
hey,
Hmm.
use this for Cinewhoops. But I haven't seen any other company do it yet. HGLR. I don't know how good. I've never used HGLRC boards.
I had shit luck with
but,
their pin.
They seem to be
their,
the first ones.
Their
doing,
pin stack sucked. I hated them.
The only other board
Yeah.
that I know of that's like that is the KISS CC.
Yeah.
It's really low amp though, so
Oh,
you got to make it count.
yeah. This one is 25 amp, so definitely not 2 to 3S. It says so.
Yeah, the KISS
don't even
CC is
think you
only
can
like
do a Cinewhoop on
14,
2
I
to
think.
3S. Dude, my fucking Cinewhoop, well, it's gigantic, but my Cinewhoop is 6S. It's,
Yeah, there's no way. Yeah,
it's
I
like,
didn't even realize. I honestly thought it could do 6S, and then I just noticed it says 2 to 3.
I have a 4-inch
so
Cinewhoop
that's not really for a Cinewhoop.
that runs 6S, and it's a monster. But
the
boat,
Shendro
I call
one,
it fucking. It's my tugboat, dude. It's like Tommy the
Huge
tugboat.
tugboat.
It's fucking. It's so fucking ridiculous. It weighs. I think depending. I haven't ran both cameras on it, but I built a mast for a 360 cam, and then I also have a Hero 8 mount. But I've never ran both cameras actually. But I want to try it. It would probably weigh fucking 1,200 grams though, or something. It'd be something crazy, dude. Like at least. But I think it's like 800 or 900 grams at least. I think with the pack and everything, it's close to 1,100.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah. Have you seen that fucking thing, Wendell?
I don't think so.
Really? Here, like I have it on the wall. I'm gonna grab it. So this is a Chandron's Duelist.
Oh Jesus Christ, man!
what size is the Duelist?
This is a 4-inch prop. This is running
And what's the one that everybody uses?
The
all
Squirt.
the pros use.
the Squirt.
What is that? 3-inch?
Squirt's a 3.
So that's bigger than the Squirt.
And then he built a Geyser, which is a
Oh.
4, I believe. But this one actually has a 360 mast on it right now. So you bring this up, tighten it up, and all that jazz. And then I've got
Ooh.
a
Fancy.
360 camera up here.
Oh, the Fusion.
Yeah, there's a
Nice.
Fusion up top.
Huh.
And yeah, so that's a little interesting thing. And then it has a mounting point here for Hero 8. And then this is a cheater cam. So there's a camera here. And then there's another one in the back. So this is one of the ones that I use for that reverse switch. So when I hit the switch, there's a fucking PTX switch that automatically, it's a Bix Multi-View Duo is what it's called. A Bix Multi-View Duo. It's a separate little board you run both your cameras into. You run a UART to it, and when you switch it, it clicks between your cameras.
That's pretty fucking cool.
And then I did this Crossfire mast that actually rotates on the rod. So if I can get it there, so it actually rotates on the rod. So when you're traveling, you can stow it,
Oh,
and
hell
then
yeah.
you can put it up if you want to run vert. And then
Full mast.
full mast, baby. That's what she said. So yeah, this monster. It's pretty heavy, but it flies pretty fucking good, and it runs 6S on a 2100 kV Brother Hobby, the speed shields on 6S.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yes, I'm running 2100 because it's a 4-inch, so I figured I needed a slightly higher kV than an 18 or 1900 that you would normally run on 6S. So I kicked it up to like 2150, and excuse me, I'm gonna play around with I figured if anything I could always motor output limit if it was too high. But so far it's good. So far it's good, and and if I want to lose weight, I'll lose the landing gears and shit. But I have this like landing rail down here that helps. But this is set up that I can actually, I have another rail top. So these rails are all interchangeable. And I have a rail top that actually has a 3-axis gimbal that hangs off of it. That's why I kept the second radio, so I can have a dual op.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool as hell.
I can actually hang a little tiny GoPro gimbal off of it and have a dual op. That thing sounds monstrous. Vice. Yeah, man. So it's cool. So we're getting close to the end of the night, guys. I think anything. Wendell, you got a video that you want to share with us tonight, man?
Let's see here. Yeah, I got the. Let's see.
The one we talked about earlier. You want to do Nubs Knock Me Out and Crash My Quad?
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ, that was funny as shit. Let me find it real quick.
I got it.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Here we go. Let me just. All right, we're gonna roll a couple videos. All right, so y'all, this is Jack Bear, and
Out here on a beautiful day today, figure we'd do some flying and fuck. Oh,
Now, stay down. Anyways, now it's time to do some real flying. Let me show you what I can do. Let's go and fly this motherfucker.
Oh, she's sweet but a psycho, a little bit psycho. At night she's screaming, I'm on my mind. Oh, she's hot but a psycho, so left but she's right though. At night she's screaming, I'm on my mind. She'll make you curse, but she a blessing. She'll rip your shirt within a second. You'll be coming back for second with your play. You just can't help it. No, you'll play along. Let her lead you on. You'll be saying no, then saying yes, 'cause you're messing with your head. Oh, she's sweet but a psycho, a little bit psycho. At night she's screaming, my mind. Oh, she's hot but a
fuck yeah, dude. Nice flying, brother. Oh shit, that was fucking.
Yeah,
crazy.
makes me
That was
laugh every
awesome.
time. I swear to God.
So y'all, yeah, if you guys aren't hip to Jack Bear FPV, make sure you fucking reach out, hit that sub button on his channel, y'all. You got anything else you want? You got anything else you want me to play, Wendell? You're kind of my guest tonight since you're.
Oh, let's see.
Red
here.
5's been on here once on the Kiss show, so I'm giving you the.
Oh, let's see here. What's another good one? I'm trying to think. The one with the bando was pretty good.
The
one at
Bando
the-
Fun New Spot? No, that's
No, actually, the one the Beautiful Oaks. That was a good one.
beautiful.
When I went down to Charleston, yeah, that was a nice one.
All right, let's check this out.
down here
When I
in
was doing the
Charleston.
proximity going through all the trees, all the live oaks.
Right?
Down here in Charleston today, exploring the sights and everything. I mean, this place is just absolutely freaking beautiful. So, hell, let's see what we can do.
That's a really nice spot.
It's beautiful.
It is fucking beautiful.
Yeah, I wanted to fly the Angel Oak down there, but it was all roped off, and I really didn't want to get too close to it because they really love that thing. I mean, it's absolutely enormous.
I feel like I've forgotten what leaves look like.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, we live in Scraggle Rock up here in New York right now.
Oh wow.
I honestly want to go to that spot with some clippers and just kind of do some gardening. But I feel like I don't, like if I knew they were just really bad trees, I would go, but in the summer, they're perfectly fine.
Always gotta watch out for that resurrection moss. It'll tangle you up quick.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I caught that so many times. In fact, at the end of this one, I catch it.
It's like you already know where it's at. Like every time you're flying super low because you know it's like, oh, if I go too high, I'm done.
Oh yeah.
I love it. It forces you to fly like even more.
Yeah,
low
because
and
you're not.
fast.
If you catch up high, you're not getting it out.
Do you find yourself trying to do new tricks, or do you just like feel like you get to a certain point and you're just like, I'm just gonna fly now?
That's basically what it is. I find that if I try to plan tricks out, I end up just fucking it up because I'm trying too hard. So I just go and I find
that's
lines
my
as I
problem
go,
as well.
kind of thing. I don't try. I'll get an idea. I'll look around an area and say, okay, it looks pretty cool. But when it comes to actually flying it, I can plan something in my head and fly something completely different coming out of it. So I just go with it. It's like, oh, I could probably make that, and half the times probably not, but it works.
Austin, what did you put up lately? That got something you want to share tonight?
Probably just my last video, I guess.
The
From
stroll in the
last week.
park.
Yeah, that was a fun spot. Like I caught it at the right time. There was no one around.
Oh, that's the best.
All right, here we
And like
go.
as soon as I finished, dog walkers everywhere.
Oh wow.
I was about to say, our main thing is dogs off leash or dog walkers.
Yeah,
Or
right,
joggers.
everywhere.
Red 5, y'all. Goddamn, Austin.
Man, killing it.
Whoa.
I don't know how I didn't hit that one. I thought for sure I was gonna hit it.
So I'll ask you the same question, Red 5. Like, are you at the, like, obviously you're a fucking thick ripper. Like, are you at the point where you're like, I'm gonna practice a certain trick, or you're just sending it and seeing what happens?
I kind of feel like I look out for set pieces to do. So like looping something like this, or like behind that pavilion where there's like a trench. I kind of focus more on finding ways to make sure I fall into those kind of things. Not so much as like learning new tricks. If I do, I just kind of do it on a lark. Like, let me see if it works, and lands to like whatever flow I'm in. Otherwise, I'm kind of at a point where I just kind of throw a pack on and just do whatever I want.
Yeah, you've gotten to the point where you can just do the maneuver you need without crashing. And occasionally, you know, fuck up.
More or less. Like sometimes it like with like what I said with like set pieces, I'll be like, I want to go there. Let me see how many let me see what I need to do it. It might take like a couple packs, and then I'll be comfortable with what I need to do to make the set piece happen.
Yeah.
And so more or less, yeah, like unless I'm like just being retarded, I don't really crash too much. Unless I'm like, I want to hit this really weird gap. Let's try and make it happen, and it won't happen.
Sick, dude.
Thanks.
That was awesome.
Stellar ripping there, bro. Fuck yeah. I want to play, so our brother, El Bujo FPV from Project Zen just picked up a couple sponsors. He's another ripper I have the pleasure of ripping with frequently here in New York City. Unfortunately, Vice and I haven't been doing a whole lot of ripping because of the weather up here, but you know, I did get some footage the other day, so I'm gonna get some shit out hopefully this week. But I do want to say congratulations to Gino, man. He just got picked up by TBS. Apparently got picked up by Flight One today. I think TBS yesterday.
Nice.
Well deserved.
And it was his birthday.
And it was
last
birthday
week.
last week. So once again, happy birthday. And man, good things come to
Yeah.
those. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Fucking, he's had a hell of a week, and I'm happy for him, man. And like I said, his brother, peep him out.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love that flow.
Yeah, Project Zen, great group, another great community out there. Fucking, let's see. I want to drop a Redbeard video too tonight. He just got to go out and fly with someone like B-Rad, Bando by Boats.
And it begins.
I've flown this spot and I do not like it.
I was just gonna ask you if you've been out there.
I went out with one of the owners of my FPV store, and we went through the front. We legit unscrewed the padlock, went through the gate, and then screwed it back in. That way it looked like no one ever went through the gate. And actually made in my KISS quad there, my very first one. I'm like, I ain't feeling this. You got the river on one side and the pond on the other. And it's hard to find a good flow there, at least for my flying. I wasn't feeling it.
Is that Brad? Looks like him.
Joe Biden. I don't know why, but whenever I see Brad, I always kind of think of Joe Biden. I don't know why.
I can see your hesitations about having water on both sides, but this does look like a fun spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mind you, I
definitely
was still pretty green when I flew there too.
Yeah, maybe we
That was back in 2018.
How many
No, early 2019.
How many months were you into the hobby at that point?
I don't think I heard you. How long have you been flying when you went out there, Red?
Probably like 7 months, 8 months maybe.
Nice.
Probably more like 10, 9 or 10. What you don't see in these videos is there's like 2 like elevator shafts or whatever, and like they go below ground level, and it is absolutely disgusting down there. So, like you'll see some of the Rotor Riot guys like dive down that. It's like if you dive down there, I wouldn't want to go after the quad anymore.
Oh boy.
Like homeless people have shit in there. I've pissed in there.
Oh, nasty.
It's disgusting. I probably should revisit that spot. I could probably handle it now.
Definitely, I'd love to see what you would do with that.
Yeah, I would tear this up.
Yeah, that looks fun.
Yeah, this is a beautiful spot. Now they're getting out there by a boat, right?
Right, for plausible deniability, because the no trespassing signs are on the other side, not on the river side. So if you just roll up with a boat, I didn't know.
And what was this? What's the facility? Like, what's the banda? What did it used to be? Do you know?
It was supposed to be condos.
Oh, that just
This was supposed to be like the office area or whatever.
And they just flubbed, or
Probably. I think that was being erected during the Great Recession.
yeah, I wouldn't mind hitting it.
It looks way bigger in camera. It's way smaller in
Does it
person.
feel smaller in person?
Oh yeah.
I've done a terrible job tonight of plugging the BQE giveaway next week.
Oh yeah, that is.
Oh.
Isn't it? I mean,
It just
nobody
means that we
wants
gotta
a-
do another
a
live
free
stream.
frame.
Yeah, right?
I'll have my prop ready by then.
I'm excited for the props. Yeah, Red's Goon coming up. Goonie Squad in effect.
What was that?
I said Red is a Goon coming up. Goonie Squad in effect.
Ah, Redbeard.
Yeah, Redbeard. Sorry, Redbeard, yes.
It's like I'm already a goon. What the hell are you talking about?
There's too many Reds.
dare you.
Okay. I mean, good lord.
Red 5, I'm going in.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
I feel so stupid as a huge Star Wars fan. I didn't realize
I'm going
the
in.
Red 5 was still today. I looked at chat. I'm like, I'm such an idiot. Of course, Red 5.
Good shit, Redbeard. Fucking. Let's see if there's anybody else we want to rock tonight, really quick. What's Dragon been up to?
Dragon's been chilling with El Bujo, hitting all the ill spots.
Where the hell is
He's
it?
got to go edit all that footage from Pilgrim. Keep saying he's too lazy.
Bro, still have footage from Pilgrim I haven't finished, which is retarded because I had that crazy ass fucking inverted out there.
The
That's
last time I flew was at the AMA field, so I have no footage because nobody wants to see me fly a flat field.
Yo, I'll tell you what. Yo, have you guys seen Phil Thrills? Let me see if I can find him.
Oh, it's 12:20. I gotta bounce, guys.
Yeah, I think we're about there anyways. I was just going to try to play one other video, but I'm failing. So I guess, you know what, actually, that's fine. Next week, we'll get you guys, whoever we're missing tonight. Hopefully, if not the one after, because actually next week, I want to, like I said, I did a lousy job of fucking plugging it tonight. But next week, we have our giveaway, which is the BQE Stormer Race. I did plug it at the top. Next week is this giveaway, and we will be joined by Team BQE, the one like Bot Grinder, West Side. Let's see who else is coming on. I think Schmurda, Valentin Schmurda, Pimp Hop FPV, Bone FPV. I'm trying to get Wombat on here. I got to reach out to him still. And hopefully the one like Bill Brissett. Gravy Leg and BU are going to be joining us. We have quite a fucking cast of characters for next week,
Dude.
So we're pretty excited about
If we
that.
get everyone,
We're going to basically try to get the whole fucking BQE
my
team in
God.
here with us and fucking rap about BQE and give away
So
this
crazy.
frame. It's going to be sick. So please tune in next week for that. Details for the giveaway are in the description. Once again, I know Vince has dropped it in the chat. And we will be plugging the shit out of it all week. So make sure you get out on that and then come and watch to win next week, Wednesday at 10 p.m. EST, each and every time. Okay. Wendell, you got anything to leave us with, brother?
No, I'm good, man. And man, for it's related to be breaking nubs out. If I break up the whole house because he's an asshole and he doesn't know how to fucking be quiet. I mean, I'm telling you, he gets going and I can't shut his fucking ass up. And he'll go and go and go and probably try to rape like the neighbor's dog's girlfriend or some shit.
I love my morning.
So-
I wake up every day to a fucking Nubs video of some fucking mayhem or
It's just something just hits me. I was like, oh, this sounds pretty fucking stupid. Let's go and do this.
like every morning, at least every other day. I see it.
Yeah.
Wendell sends me a Nubs video before he goes live. It's like, it's fucking amazing.
Oh, I just laugh and laugh and laugh. Oh my God.
So y'all fucking get on there, man. Check out fucking Jack Bear FPV. Oh, you were sending me stuff, Vince? Oh, I see it.
Yeah, so I'm getting threatened already.
All right. Well, with that, guys, we're going to leave you all to it. You guys have a fucking great week. We'll see you next week, Wednesday at 10 p.m. EST. Red, sorry, one last thing. Anything? You good, Vince?
Epstein didn't kill himself.
There we go.
Oh my God.
Yo,
See
actually,
ya.
and actually, yo, before I forget too, don't forget, and we beat the hell out of this over the last few weeks, but make sure you're checking out the helpsavemyhobby.com to get help and tips for the FAA and check out the protest that the UFDA crew is doing. Apparently, Rotor Riot, a bunch of people are jumping in with support, man, and it's really awesome in that regard. We need to fight this situation and make sure you guys are getting your comments ready. The deadline is the beginning of this coming month. So you literally have about 3.5 weeks, if that, to get ready. Yeah. This is not a leap year, right? So we have a short month. So don't forget, get your comment into the FAA. Fuck those guys. We got to fight this shit. And join us if you can, December 29th in Washington, D.C. for the protest directly outside of FAA headquarters. So that's going to be fucking interesting. And yeah.
Yeah, our FPV freedoms didn't kill itself.
Did you see? I had an Epstein meme with where he had Fat Sharks on. It said this.
Dude, you got mad Epstein memes, dude.
This hobby didn't kill itself, so we'll leave you with that. We love you guys. You guys have a great week. Mad love and all of that, and we out. Peace.
Peace.
Oh,
later.